The old woman stood quietly at the edge of the parade ground, her back straight despite the years resting on her shoulders. Her clothes were simple, her hair silver, her hands folded calmly as Marines rushed past her without a second glance. Then a young USMC captain laughed, pointed at her, and said half-jokingly, "So, ma'am, what rank are you supposed to be?" She looked up slowly. And with just a few words, she turned his laughter into fear, his pride into silence, and the entire base into a place of stunned respect. Because some legends don't wear their rank on their shoulders anymore. They carry it in their history. Camp Resolute was alive with energy that morning. Boots hit the concrete in perfect rhythm, voices echoed through commands, and flags snapped sharply in the wind. It was a training day, and Captain Ethan Walker, young, confident, and freshly decorated, was overseeing drills with the kind of swagger that came from fast promotions and constant praise. Ethan was known as sharp, fearless, and sarcastic. Too sarcastic, some said. He believed respect was earned in the present, not inherited from the past. History mattered, sure, but only if you were still relevant. That was when he noticed her. An elderly woman stood near the observation line, not where visitors usually stayed. She wasn't escorted. She didn't look lost. She simply stood there, watching the Marines train with a gaze so focused it made Ethan uncomfortable. She wore no military uniform. Just a plain coat, sensible shoes, and a small pin barely visible on her collar. Ethan walked over with a grin, trying to lighten the mood for the troops nearby. "Well now," he said, loud enough for others to hear, "looks like we've got ourselves a mystery guest." The Marines chuckled softly. He tilted his head, playful. "So tell me, ma'am, what rank do you hold around here?" A few laughs followed. Nothing malicious, just a harmless joke. Or so he thought. The old woman turned her eyes toward him. Not angry. Not offended. Just calm. Deeply calm. "Why do you ask, Captain?" she replied. Something about the way she said his rank, so naturally, made him pause. But he brushed it off. "Well," he shrugged, "you're standing like you belong here." She smiled faintly. "I do." The laughter died down. Before Ethan could respond, a senior staff sergeant rushed toward them, his face drained of color. "Captain," he said sharply, "stand at attention. Now." Confused, Ethan obeyed. The staff sergeant turned to the old woman, saluted with absolute precision, and said words that froze the air. "Major General Eleanor Hayes, ma'am. Welcome back to Camp Resolute." Silence crashed down like thunder. Ethan's heart slammed against his chest. "Major General?" His knees locked. His mouth went dry. He saluted so fast his arm trembled. The woman, Major General Hayes, returned the salute slowly. "At ease, Captain," she said. But he couldn't relax. Not when the weight of what he had done finally hit him. Later that day, Captain Walker stood outside the command office, replaying every second in his head. The joke. The laughter. The look in her eyes. He expected punishment. A formal reprimand. Maybe worse. Instead, the door opened. "Captain Walker," came her voice. "Come in." The office was modest. No grand decorations. No self-glorifying photos. Just a folded flag, a few medals in a case, and an old photograph of a much younger woman in combat gear, mud on her face, fire in her eyes. She gestured for him to sit. "You embarrassed me today," she said calmly. "Yes, ma'am," Ethan replied, voice tight. "But more importantly," she continued, "you embarrassed yourself." Her words cut deeper than shouting ever could. She leaned back slightly. "Do you know why I didn't wear my uniform today?" He shook his head. "Because I wanted to see how respect is given when rank is invisible," she said. "I wanted to see how the next generation treats those they think are beneath them." Ethan swallowed hard. She stood, walking slowly to the photo on the wall. I joined when women had to fight twice as hard just to be allowed in the room, she said. I buried friends who never made it home. I made decisions that cost lives, and saved many more. I earned this rank not through jokes, but through sacrifice. She turned back to him. You're a good officer, she said. But confidence without humility becomes arrogance. And arrogance breaks leaders. Ethan's eyes burned. I'm sorry, ma'am, he said, his voice cracking. I forgot what the uniform really stands for. She studied him for a long moment. Good, she said. Because remembering is how you grow. Before leaving, she paused at the door. Captain, she added, never measure someone's worth by what you see on the surface. Some of the strongest warriors no longer wear armor. She walked out. And Ethan Walker stood there, changed forever. That day, Captain Walker didn't lose his career. He gained something far more valuable, wisdom. Because leadership isn't about who you outrank. It's about who you respect. Some heroes walk among us quietly. Some legends grow old without applause. And some ranks are earned so deeply. They shake you long after the uniform is gone. Respect the past. Honor the unseen. And never underestimate a soul shaped by sacrifice. Because one careless joke can reveal ignorance. But one moment of humility can create a true leader.